Sri Gurupyo Namaha children. Welcome to this online session. We are going to learn a lesson, Business, Trade and Commerce. Okay. See, in this class, we are going to learn about the concept of business, nature of business, and characteristics of business. So, as an introductory part, we will have what is a business. So, in general, business means an occupation or an activity engaged by people to get their livelihood by satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. See, all human beings require different types of goods and services to satisfy their needs. For example, our basic needs are food, shelter, and clothing. So, other than these basic needs, we have lot of requirements in our life. So, we need to fulfill our comforts. For that, we need so many goods and services to satisfy our needs, isn't it? So, we need comfortable life. For that, comfort, we may need an air conditioner or a furnished houses or two wheelers, four wheelers, etc. So, to satisfy these needs, these goods and services have to be supplied to us, isn't it? So, the necessity of supplying these goods and services has led to certain activities being undertaken by people to produce and sell what is needed by others. That is, to satisfy our needs, all the goods which are required by us has to be produced by some people. There are some people to produce and supply all the goods and services which are needed by us, isn't it? So there exists production of these goods and selling of those goods to the customers. So the purpose behind most business activities is to earn money by meeting people's demand for goods and services. What is a concept of business? That is the term business is derived from the word busy. That is being busy. Being busy in what? Being busy in doing some activities which earns our livelihood. By doing that activity, people earn their livelihood and they also simultaneously satisfy the needs and wants of the customers. So, an occupation in which people regularly engage, they have to regularly engage in activities related to purchase, production, and sale of goods and services with a view to earning profit. So, the activities related to production and sale of goods and services, they are producing and selling it to the consumers with a view to earn profit. So the activities can be divided into economic activity and non-economic activity. As we have already discussed, business is an economic activity. What is an economic activity? So by doing this activity, we are able to earn our livelihood. We are able to earn some money, some monetary benefit will be obtained by doing some economic activities. For example, a working in a factory, doctor operating in his clinic, or a teacher teaching in a school, all these are considered as economic activity. So, by doing some economic activities, we are getting some monetary benefit out of it. The return is some monetary value. There should be some value obtained from doing the economic activities. Then what are non-economic activities? These are performed out of love, sympathy, patriotism, etc. For example, a housewife cooking food and serving her family. She is not getting any return for that. She is not getting any money for serving food to her family and children, isn't it? She is doing this out of her love and affection. So you cannot treat this activity as an economic activity. Same way, for example, money received as a donation by trust. They are spending that money not for their own purpose. They are spending it for the welfare of the society. So here also money or received by way of donation is not considered as an economic activity. A boy who is helping old man to cross the road or something like this, which are not giving any money in return, any monetary value in return, is considered to be the economic activity. So, to be a business activity, that activity should be a economic activity. That is, it should give some return by doing that activity. Now, we will move on to characteristics of business activities. So, what is a business? It should be an economic activity engaged in the production or procurement of goods and services for the purpose of sale by satisfying human needs and wants, and simultaneously it should earn some profit. That is said to be the business activity. You can say various examples of business activity: textile business, or having a shop, or a fruit sellers, vegetable sellers. Everybody are doing some economic activity to earn their livelihood, isn't it? Even a tea shop or a small bakery, a small shop near your houses, all are people who does business activity. Okay. So what are the characteristics of business activity? When can you call an activity as a business activity? To be a business activity, it should have all the following characteristics. See, it should be an economic activity: production and procurement of goods and services, sale or exchange of goods and services, dealing in goods and services on a regular basis, profit earning, uncertainty of return, element of risk. So all these are the characteristics of business activities. We will see one by one. So it should be an economic activity. It is undertaken with the objective of earning money or livelihood and not out of affection, love, sympathy or any other emotion. So what is economic activity? By doing this activity, there should be a motive of profit earning. Okay, this economic activity may be in a small scale or on a larger scale. Suppose if it is a smaller scale, it may be a shopkeeper or a fancy shop or a small a medical shop or a tea shop or a fruit shop or a vegetable shop. All these things are said to be economic activity. It may be on a larger scale, that is a company or a cooperative society. All these activities, conducting, organizing all these things are called economic activity. And production or procurement of goods and services. What is production and procurement? Production means you are producing something. For example, you are producing pens, you are producing boxes, or you are producing some electronic devices by your own, on your own. That is called a production. Procurement means you're obtaining, you're getting from somewhere, and they are further sold to the final consumers. That is called procurement of goods. Goods, objects, materials. What is services? Services are intangible. That is, it cannot be seen or it cannot be touched, but it can be felt. Okay. For example, a doctor providing medical services to the patient, a teacher who gives lecture to the children, all these are called services. Okay. Or a physician providing services to the patient can be considered as a service. So production, there should be production or procurement of goods and services. Then only we can call that activity as a business activity. So every business enterprise either manufactures the goods it deals in or acquires them from producers to be further sold to the consumers. So there should be manufacturing of goods, or it has to be acquired from producers and it should be further sold to the consumers. And here, in this production or procurement of goods and services, the goods may be consumable goods or it may be capital goods. When you take the consumer goods, you can say the examples of dairy products or sugar or cosmetics or whatever things you use in your day-to-day life are said to be the consumable products. We are consuming whatever we are consuming. It is called a consumable products. Capital goods, they are, you can say the example of plant and machinery, furniture, etc. And when it comes to services, services which are provided to the individuals or even this transport services, banking services, electricity services also come under the services provided by the people to the consumers. And the next characteristic is sale or exchange of goods and services. So, simply produced and consumed for our personal use is not treated as a business activity. So, it has to be sold to someone. There should be an action of sales or exchange of goods and services. As we have already discussed the example of a housewife cooking food and serving it to her family, it is they are consuming it for their personal use. They are using it for their own family. Suppose the same housewife sells the food to the nearby restaurant and gets some value for that and gets some money for that. It is treated as a business activity. So there should be sale or exchange of goods or services between the seller and the buyer. And then dealing in goods and services on a regular basis. There should be regularity in business activities. That is, one single transaction of sale or purchase does not constitute a business. You can say an example like this. Suppose you have a old scooter or old two-wheeler with you. You want to sell it now because you are not going to use it anymore. So you want to sell it to somebody, and you are selling it, and you are getting the value for it. You are selling it for some money, and you are getting the return for that. You cannot say that it is a business activity because you are doing it once. You are not continuously doing that business. Suppose you are running a shop for selling the second hand goods. That is, you are getting more goods from various people and you are selling it as a second hand goods seller. You are running a shop for that specifically, then that can be treated as a business activity. So there should be continuity, there should be regularity in doing a business activity. Then only it can be considered as a business activity. There should not be any one single transaction of sale or purchase of a business. And this is the main purpose of business, to earn income by way of profit. So for every business activity, the aim might be to earn profit. So the people who are engaging in a business, to maximize the profit, either they have to increase the volume of sale or they have to reduce the cost. And no business can survive for long without earning profit. So the profit should be earned for in every business activity. And uncertainty of return. So when you start a business, you cannot fix the return. You may not expect the fixed amount of return by doing a particular business because we may not know. Our product may be accepted in the market or may not be accepted in the market. Customers may demand your product or may not demand your product. So there should be a demand for our product. Then only we can expect the profit. And also the like salary or wages, which is fixed for every month or every weekly, it is not fixed. The return cannot be fixed by the business, by doing a business. So the lack of knowledge relating to the amount of money that the business is going to earn in a given period. So within a particular period, we cannot estimate or we cannot fix the profit which we are going to earn. It may vary. Okay. And then risks, element of risk. Risks are related with factors like changes in consumer taste and fashion, changes in method of production, strike or lockout, at workplace, fire, theft, accidents, natural calamities, etc. So it is an unfavorable situation for every business. So every business may face risks, certain risks like change in the taste and fashion of the product which they are selling. So it is mostly it will be related to the textile business. Suddenly the fashion may change or changes in the method of production. So our competitor may change the method of production and produce more. So we have to update our knowledge, seeing the method of production in the market, and strike or lockout by workers in the workplace. It may also stop the production, and unexpected fire, theft, accidents, or natural calamities like flood, cyclone, etc. may also stop the production and we may not get the profit in that time. So these are the characteristics of business activity. And we have already discussed about the activity can be divided into economic and non-economic activities. When you come to the economic activities, it is further subdivided into business, profession, and employment. So business we are discussing now, it is an economic activity involving the production and sale of goods and services with a motive of earning profit by satisfying the human needs in the society. So what is a profession? It requires special knowledge and skill. That is, they should be expert in a particular field. Then only we can call them as the professional. So generally, individuals, those who are engaged in professions are known as professionals. So you can say the doctors, lawyers, engineers, auditors, they are all professionals. That is, these professionals have to follow the guidelines which are laid down in the professional bodies. For example, doctors have to follow the guidelines which are laid down in the Medical Council of India. Lawyers have to follow the guidelines which are laid down in the Bar Council of India. So, simply an ordinary man cannot be a doctor or a lawyer. They have to obtain the degree from the Medical Council of India, and lawyers they have to obtain from the degree of Bar Council of India. Then only we can be called as a professionals. And when we come to the employment, the occupation in which people work for others and get remuneration in return. For example, they are employed by somebody, and as an employee, they may be getting salary or wages as given in the agreement. So, those who are employed by others are called employees. Okay, children, with this we will wind up this session. The remaining part of the lesson we will see it in the next class. Thank you, children. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you.